Hello everyone, welcome you all on this fantastic Saturday morning. Hello everyone and welcome you all to this fantastic Saturday morning. We at LinkedIn Local Nagpur welcome you all for this session on how to scale up successfully. And as you all are aware that today we have Mr. PK Narayanan as our industry expert. And before talking about him, let me share with you a few of the aspects that we had in our discussion. When I was having a word with PK, he said only 4% of the people are able to scale up. So that's not at all a huge number. But if you look at the 96% of the people who are not able to scale up, that's a big problem. We had a poll, PK, we had a poll on LinkedIn Local Nagpur that do you think scaling up is a challenge? And
Mhm.
it was not at all surprised. 63% of the respondents said yes, it's a challenge, and around 17% respondents say we want to know how to take care of this challenge. So we
Mhm.
thought that yes, this is the right topic, this is the right opportunity because this is coming from people that they want to know how to scale up successfully.
Mhm.
So we have the best person today in India to talk about this, that how to scale up successfully. And let me give you a short introduction because he has a wonderful experience and I don't want to share all his journey of 3 to 4 decades. But yes, in short, I would like to introduce our today's industry expert, Mr. PK Narayanan. He is basically CEO coach. He helps business owners, business leaders scale up their business, enhance their leadership presence, and position their business for long-term success. PK's mission is to touch 1 million lives through enabling business leaders scale up their business, creating positive impact for themselves, their people, and society at large. He is a CEO coach since 2013. He was CEO at Ganges Advisors, scaling up businesses for 3 years. Then he was business consultant. He was CEO and General Manager India for Lend-Lease Corp. He was CFO NSW Australia, CFO India again for Lend-Lease Corp, and he had a various roles as a financial consultant or advisor with Tata Group. Mr. PK is basically and PCC ICF professional certified coach. He is FCA ICAI rank holder, inter and final. He's gold medalist 1992 way back, and he's also ACS ICSI. He has done so many things in this space in order to help people grow. Mainly, there are three things he's focusing on: a growth accelerator program, version 2.0 to 3.0, me, the leader. So we are at LinkedIn Local Nagpur are extremely happy to have Mr. PK Narayanan with us. And sir, before we start, just want to have a few words from you. What do you think since pandemic and all these things, how it has impacted businesses?
See, welcome on a Saturday morning and thank you for joining us. See, the pandemic is new for all of us, and it also, provides us an opportunity to rethink, refresh, reset, look at what I need to continue doing and what I need to stop doing probably, and what I need to start doing. So I feel it provides an opportunity globally for all of us. Again, an equal opportunity for all of us to revisit, reset, reflect, and start a new journey. I mean, I think it's in that sense, it's quite positive, I think.
PK, when we talk about scaling up, then as you all are aware that whenever we are doing something new pertaining to any business fraction, then it's a challenge, of course. And
Mm.
there is a probability of getting successful or getting failed. So we are more focused on getting successful. So what do you think? How getting successful scaling up is on cards for most of the individual today?
See, it's a challenge, as many of your respondents also felt. See, one universal law that I have seen, I have experienced, and I keep seeing is that what we focus on expands. So when we need to you need to embark on something, which are the areas that we are focusing on, which are the areas that we are keeping ourselves engaged in, matters a lot. So a tip here is to focus on the right areas, because whatever we focus on expands. Just to put it into perspective, once Ricky Ponting was asked, the renowned batsman, how you are able to score more number of twos and threes, which is finding the gaps essentially. That is how you are able to score more of two and three. So he said, as batsmen, whenever we go to the middle, we look at the field positions, and many of us look at the fielders, and I look at the gaps. So that makes, it was just said as an answer to a question, but it was quite profound. So what we focus on expands. So when we are on a scale up journey, possibilities are that we are successful or we are not so successful. So let's focus on success and what contributes to, or what makes that 4% people that you said in the beginning tick, and let us increase that percentage.
So, PK, people nowadays they're extremely hesitant to try out something new, or rather to use technology into their businesses. So, like, I don't understand. Is that some sort of inhibitions that is stopping them from leveraging the technology, or understanding what is working for others sometimes might even work for you?
Good question. See, broadly, the psychologists have identified human thinking into two buckets. Broadly, I mean, I'm saying it is quite complex, then I'm simplifying to a large extent for us to understand easily. Broadly, it's classified into two thought processes, or thinking process is bucketed into two broad categories: fear-based thinking and growth-based thinking. The fear-based thinking comes as if it's natural, but it's not natural, it is habitual. We are afraid of trying new things. It is based out of a sense of insecurity, a sense of scarcity. Whereas growth-based thinking is emanating, or it is based in, kind of confidence, clarity, courage, a sense of security, a sense of abundance. So it's our choice. I mean, more often than not, we can choose to be fear-based thinkers or growth-based thinkers. I'm not saying that in all circumstances we will be able to think growth-based. But I am saying is that this awareness helps us to move towards growth-based thinking more and more. And technology, you talked about fear and technology. These two terminologies are, kind of fear and technology, though you mentioned together, and it can be otherwise also. Technology also can be a great enabler. Technology can be used to scale up. Technology can be used to build strength, courage, confidence, clarity. I think overall we should move towards clarity, because when you have clarity, fear disappears. For example, if you are entering a dark room, how would you feel, Swaroop? You are asked to enter a pitch dark room. How would you feel?
It would be full of fear.
Fearful. And yeah, we can't blame you for that, because you don't know what's in, where the furnitures are and what is in. You don't have levels, steps, and all that. But just put on the light, switch on the light, and the light comes. Would you be fearful anymore to walk in? Yeah, so what light does is to provide clarity, right? When the clarity comes, you don't need courage separately, or you don't need to, fan off the fear. It disappears by itself. So seek clarity. I would say in anything and everything that we do, seek clarity. And when we are seeking clarity, that will be the journey from confusion, from fear to clarity, and from clarity to action. And again, it's action that changes the world, and it's not the thoughts and ideas or even decisions that changes the world. It's always the action that changes the world. And to take action, we need clarity.
So
And when we
there
have
was
clarity, when we have clarity, I think that is one of the ways to, minimalize or to square off the fear factor. We all will have fear factor because future is always unpredictable or uncertain, and even during pandemic like what we are facing, no one knew, no one saw it coming. So it can come in many ways, but if we have clarity and if we are focused and if we have clarity, I think we will be able to address it better.
Very true, very true. Because uh, I've seen this happening with a lot of people. Fear is such a factor that stops them. That fear mindset, it's taking over that growth mindset to an extent that decision making is hampered. And in our lives, decision making is the most vital,
True.
important aspect.
Mm.
So there was something very important that I came to know about you, PK, that there was something that you had defined in 2016, and
Mhm.
that is very, very important. That is quite a differentiator, because you spoke about scaling a business. You had determined a model, and we, as viewers of today's program, would love to know from you what were the aspects of that business model, scaling up business model, and would like you to share a few insights about it. So in order to help you out, I'll just put on one slide so that we can discuss in detail.
Sure, sure. As you know, 2003, I started my scaling up consulting, and it was it was quite encouraging and quite exciting, the journey that I had for almost 13 years, before which I came up with this. Today, 17 years behind me and more than 30,000 hours of consulting and coaching on that area, scale up area. Something that I wanted to highlight before getting deeper into this is that is that 73% of business failures. You mentioned earlier, Swaroop, that only 4% of business owners are able to scale up successfully, which means that we need to do that 4% what they are doing, or in other words, we need to move out of doing what the 96% of business owners are doing, who are either continuing or even perishing or getting replaced by others in the business. So how do we do that? So this 13 years of journey culminated in getting something like this as a business model to go forward. And the research shows 73% of business failures are attributable to three reasons. 73%, three-fourths of the business failures, why businesses are not able to scale up, is attributed to three reasons, major reasons. These are: one, product market mismatch. When I say product, services also included. So our product or our service vis-a-vis the market, the mismatch. Second, communication and marketing. We are not able to communicate what we do or what our product is, or the marketing is not in the right way, or it's not touching people, right? And the third is the inappropriate business model. The business model that we follow to deliver the product or service is very important. So these three reasons attribute 73% of the failures. That also means that if we address these three, we are upping the ante, we are increasing the odds to succeed. Yeah. So when you look at this model, the first quadrant as direction at the left top corner is essentially addressing that. So where to play, how to play, and business plan, you will see under direction. In any business, direction, setting the direction is very important, especially the businesses which are moving from version 2.0 to 3.0, meaning 10 crores, 15 crores, 30 crores to 100, 200, 300 crores. And that is a significant jump. It's an orbit which is significantly different. And many businesses are stuck here. That is why many businesses are either remaining micro or small, because they are not able to transcend this glass ceiling that is taking them beyond this 20, 30 crores to 200, 300 crores. And that's not impossible. And that's not easy though, but it is not impossible. So the where to play is about creating a clear definition, clear understanding, clarity as to which price point, what ticket size, which customer segment we want to service, and which geography, and therefore what is the kind of competition that we are going to face. And how to play is clearly figuring out and establishing our differentiator. Why we, why customers, prospects should buy products or services from us. What is unique about us? What is our competitive advantage? Once we clearly articulate these things for ourselves as business leaders and business owners, CEOs, we will be able to articulate it for our teams. I'm not saying that these things will be completely missing in any business. It may not be completely missing in any business, but when we accentuate it, when we get that clarity, that is what makes you move from version 2.0 through 3.0, 4.0. And that is what helps you move the orbit. As business owners and leaders, we all have fired enough fuel to get into an orbit where we are rotating, for example. To move from there to the next level, we need these kind of enablements and a business plan. And when we talk about business plan, all of us make business plan, as you know, this year, next year, 22, 23, 23, 24, 24, 25. It's quite common, 5-year business plan most of us have in businesses. But here, the business plan, the approach is slightly different. When we look at 5 years down the line, where we need to be. So we are, we are defining the destination where we need to be in 5 years time. It's an aspirational goal that we set to ourselves. What is likely, or what should be the turnover, how we should look like, which all geographies we should be present, which all customer segments we should be servicing, what is the depth and breadth of the product or services that we need to have in 5 years time. When we define that as the compass is set for 5 years, then work back, therefore, where I should be in 4 years time, where we need to be in 3 years time, where we need to be 2 years time, and therefore what I need to do next year. When we approach that in that way, that is working back from a future goal rather than working forward from where we are, the whole thought patterns changes. The way we think changes, the way we think changes, what we do changes, and when we change what we do, the outcomes change. So therefore, this direction setting is extremely important, and it is such an important part in our scale-up business model to get the whole thing right. And then it moves on to the enablement, the creating the competencies that we want, and the org structure, roles, responsibilities, the clarity that we want, and expectation from each role is clearly articulated to the people so that they are aware of what they are supposed to deliver. And an inspired team, a motivated team. When you provide clarity, we discussed about clarity a while ago. And I need to tell you, it's not the hard work that tires people. It is not the hard work, it is the fog, meaning it is lack of clarity that tires people. The moment we provide clarity, the motivation sustains, the team becomes inspired. And then moving on to the reviews and various other things that we need in the business, and of course the fitness overall, the people level fitness, the business level fitness, and whenever we grow, we have a tendency to accumulate fat in unwanted areas. So we need to be aware of, we should be aware that we shouldn't be accumulating fat in the belly in the wrong places. So essentially that is maintaining fitness. Like a human being, we should be in the range in various parameters, right? Whether it is pressure or sugar or various parameters, right? Similarly, in business also, we need to have certain parameters set depending on our business and the size, etc. And we need to be constantly monitoring that we are within that range. So for example, if you are in a production oriented industry and your wastages are not within the range, the more you produce, the more you lose. So first and foremost, we need to be fit in our production process so that the wastage is within the permissible or the tolerance levels, so that after that we scale up. So it's a cohesive, comprehensive approach. And when I say all these things, you need not think that it is so difficult and so complex, etc. Not at all. It's very simple. Once we create this clarity and simplify the complexity involved in the business, scale up happens.
So I firmly believe that there is something very, very important that can be brought from the things that we have discussed just now. Scaling up isn't a challenge, but it's an opportunity.
It is.
And people who take this with open mind, probably they'll succeed. I've seen this happening to a lot of business corporates, or even SMEs and SMEs. They give up so easily. They think that the times are critical, it's not, doesn't look so lucrative, so it's time to pack up. And I feel so sad for them, because a lot of efforts are put in to start something. I nowadays I started believing this aspect that starting is easy, but sustaining it, that is the challenge. And if you want to sustain, then scaling up plays the most important aspect.
Absolutely, Swaroop. It is easy to start. It is easy to visualize something, but how committed we are, how committed we are to that vision, how committed we are to that goal, and how focused we are. It's all about focus. That brings me to the second point that I wanted to highlight in this regard is that focus, So whatever we focus on expands. We started with that as well today. See, it's very easy to get distracted, especially in today's world. Distractions is galore. I mean, it's all over the place. How to stay away from notifications on the phone? It starts just there, right? So distractions are, too many, and it comes in all shapes, forms, and sizes. How do we stay focused? How to stay focused? One Steve Jobs said, focus is not saying yes to one thing, but saying no to 100 other things. I think there is a huge insight, sitting there in those simple words. For us, one way to stay focused, one way that I help my clients stay focused is to help them manage their distractions. Every business opportunity is attractive. Every business product that are lying slightly on the other side of where we wanted to focus or on this side of where we wanted to focus is attractive. For example, if you are in a real estate business or you want to start a real estate business, for example, apartments come in all shapes and sizes. Probably all are profitable. But thinking that, okay, 15 lakhs to 15 crores apartment business is profitable. And then we try to appeal to all the entire market segment, we will appeal to nobody, right? So where we focus on in this 15 to 30 lakhs, if you focus and create better and better product and become the best in that segment, you start getting inquiries this side rather than going and pushing people to buy. And 30 to 60 lakh, another segment. 60 to 90 lakhs, 100 lakhs is another segment. And a person who is buying a 100 lakh apartment, his taste, his expectation, his location preference is very different. You will know, very different from what somebody is buying for 15 lakh or 30 lakh. So it is not that real estate constructing an apartment, though may look like one industry, one business, it has so much in it. And this holds good within a garment, for example, 150 to maybe 15,000, you get the same garment. So not same garment, sorry, garment, but of a different kind, different make, different brand, different usage, different market segment, different price point, different ticket size, different geography. So it is essentially figuring out this aspect as to where to play and remaining focused in it. So remaining focused on it is very important. And what it takes to remain focused, two things that are coming to my mind at the moment is one, manage our distractions, how well we are able to manage our distractions. And the second is resoluteness or resilience or kind of grit, that I have embarked on this journey and how resolute I am, how gritty I am with respect to where I am going. And that is infectious, meaning if I am resolute, my team also gets focused. My team also stays together. My team also stays inspired. And that's important for scale up. Because when we say scale up, it's not alone. It's always with a team.
There are a lot of fascinating aspects about scale up that you have stated in this particular discussion we had. But at the same time, I want to ask you one question that there are a lot of entrepreneurs, and probably lot of them are millennials. So they keep on asking this thing, a similar thing, that funding is a huge concern, and if you want to scale up, obviously will require fund. The human resource, obviously it's a challenge having a good human resource, but at the same time having capital and funding is also a challenge. So how critical role is played by money in terms of scaling up?
Very important. And it plays a very important role and a very large role. Therefore, a business includes different things, right? Finance is one of the key things. So, how committed we are, and how powered, how passionate, and how energized we are with our own destination. And that helps us create a business plan that is compelling. And when we do presentations to whether it is angel funds or Series A, B, C funds, or even private equity or pipe funding later, it's about creating that impact on the investor. How sure we are, how prepared we are, how invested we are, meaning invested in the sense not in terms of money, but in terms of our own life energy, our own effort, our own technology, our own team, how invested we are with our business, and how well we are able to articulate it to the investor. Both are equally important, because yeah, you saw one of the reasons why businesses fail is the inability to communicate, inability to market ourselves. So we need to build up those things. Marketing is not a bad word, and selling is never a bad word. If you are selling something useful for the other, something worthwhile for the user, you are increasing his standard of living, you are increasing his ease of living, you are increasing his life quality. Why we should be shy of it? So many of us stay or think that marketing sales is not very preferred way of doing good things is good enough. But I learned it in 2001 when one of my bosses told me, PK, it's not good enough to do good things. You need to be also seen as doing good things. So that came and landed on me like, 2001. I still remember on 40th floor of Australia Square building in Lendlease headquarters in Sydney, where my boss told me that, you know, it's not good enough to do good things. You need to be also seen as doing good things. It's very important even as an entrepreneur. You might be doing great things, but you need to be also be seen as doing great things. And if you do that, money is not an issue. It's available in abundance.
Very true. Like this point that you have highlighted, it's not enough just doing good thing, but you have to be seen as doing something good. So one thing came to my mind, that when we are preparing to scale up, do you think that even our customers, our client, they can also play an important role in scaling up?
Of course, yes. Yeah, of course, yes. Our customers and clients, and they are the key, right? And the more and more you get customer centric, you would be creating solutions and products more suitable to them. And the more and more you create them, you become relevant to the market. So we discussed early on that product market mismatch. The more customer centric you get, you reduce the product market mismatch. Rather, you increase the product market match. And that plays a very important role in scale up. Absolutely. We need to be always listening to the customers, clients, and always need to be caring for customers and clients. Yeah, that's significant part of our growth scale up process.
And of late, PK, have seen one drastic change, rather I would say paradigm shift in terms of business houses. Initially, before pandemic, or let's say 1 years before this year, people were quite hesitant to or get offered help from professionals, from
Mm.
business coaches or mentors. But
Uh-huh.
now they have, opened up a bit, and now they have realized that if you want to get something, you need to get the best mentorship or best guidance, or you have to have certain business coaches. And I believe this is a very good trend, because this gives you a proper direction, like the four quadrant that you have stated. As a business mentor or business coach, you are definitely going to help them out with all these aspects, and that will definitely lead to reaching their goal in a particular frame of time.
Absolutely. There was a hesitation, and on top of that, there was even a consideration that it's remedial in nature. When a coach is appointed to someone, they used to ask, "What's wrong with me? Why I need a coach?" That has changed a lot. Even in my own 7 years of coaching journey, it has changed a lot. The point is, again, I would call it when we become more and more aware of ourselves that we need help, that we are not perfect, and we cannot be rather perfect in our own terms. A coach is a guy who comes, or a person who comes unvested, absolutely unvested. There is no private agenda there. The only agenda is to help the person reach where they want to reach. So the coaching has, by and large, got much more acceptance in the recent times. And for that matter, every one of us have an opportunity to improve ourselves. At times, it may not be doable alone because we have our own limiting beliefs, set of things that we have thought through for so long. So when and we have our own blind spots, let's understand that. And a coach is a guy who helps you create more awareness, find more clarity, as we discussed earlier, to remain focused, and also help you discover your blind spots. And at this point, Swaroop, even I have coaches. And, I have been consistently having coaches over the last 4 or 5 years. And they have contributed significantly to my journey, my growth. And even now, I have a coach.
So basically, I feel that without a coach, it's like a dark room where you enter and you don't know what to do. But as a coach, when somebody creates that light in your life, gives you a particular direction, obviously you are going to attain a goal in your life, and that is very very important. And like you said, that people were thinking that if I have a business coach, there is some problem with me. So I've seen this happening, even today in our society, there is a stigma that if you visit psychiatrist, that there means something is wrong. I, I firmly believe that visiting psychiatrist doesn't mean that somebody has gone mad. It is about don't reach to that state. So probably there is some cure over it. Probably there are certain things that help you out in your growth. So similarly, business coach is vital for scaling up business. And as an individual, it's our responsibility that how and what type of mentorship we require. But yes, scaling up successfully doesn't seem to be a challenge, sir, now, because after this wonderful discussion we had, the things that you have shared, and there were a lot of new things that came to limelight. I firmly believe before the sign off, I would like to ask you one simple question. Can you please give a few tips for our budding entrepreneurs that basically on their foundation aspect, what are the two critical aspects that they should need to focus so that they can create a sustainable business and scale up?
Yeah, I can share some experience that I've seen and heard, as well as, I have undergone myself, as well as I'm seeing around. Three things that comes to my mind is that one, have a direction, have the direction clearly set out, because direction is more important than speed. We might be speeding, and if you are on a wrong direction, you are farther away from your goals. Speed could be also misinterpreted as progress, increased activity, right? Speed means increased activity, and that might be even get misinterpreted as progress, or something that is great happening. But prior to all that, I would encourage all of you to set the direction where you want to go and how you want to go, and set the goals 3 years, 5 years, whichever that suits your own businesses and your own context. And that is first and foremost, I think. And once you have decided that, please try to work back. Please don't work forward, because when you work forward, you will be always limiting your goals. But when you have a free flow to decide where you want to go and then work back, we always have a path, and you can always work back from a future goal very effectively. So that is first and foremost. Second, simplify life, simplify work, simplify business. because anything complex doesn't get even attempted. Complexity, it doesn't. Its time is action. I mean, not only for yourself but also for your own team. It affects the motivation. It clearly, it would defeat the purpose. So simplify, unpack the complexities, create simplicity around you. Try to simplify things, and that will give you clarity. And when you have clarity, you will be able to give it to others. We can give only what we have. And the third and foremost is focus. Yeah, just get focused on where you want to go, what you want to do, and that will be infectious, because your team also gets focused. And one of the ways to do that is to reduce distractions. And when you simplify, also your distractions come down. So to go after, set the direction, simplify your work, life, business. Third, remain focused on wherever, whatever you want to do.
Excellent, exceptional insights from the man himself, who has been coaching relentlessly for last so many years. And from his experience, we have learned innumerable things today. So thanks a lot, PK, for your wonderful time and sheer insight into all these aspects. And I firmly believe that moving ahead, scaling up successfully won't be a challenge; it would be an opportunity that we would all like to take. We are extremely thankful at LinkedIn Local Nagpur to Preeti, who is founder of LinkedIn Local India, for creating this wonderful platform, creating such wonderful chapters through which we are empowering people on everyday basis. And this has been our rationale behind this concept. And we are going to do this on everyday basis. And we are lucky enough today again to have Mr. PK with us. And thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining us. Looking ahead for many more wonderful interactive sessions in days to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Swaroop. Thank you, Preeti, and really appreciate LinkedIn local chapters. And yeah, thank you for your contribution to Indian business and entrepreneurship. Thank you.